just driven outside of Dimbula and we're driving along the Walsh River trying to find a nice camp spot just outside of that town. And I reckon we've come pretty close to it. We're just going to have a squiz down here and see any flat spots to pull up, and then I'm going to get the line in and see if I can get a sooty grunter.
Some mussels along here, so it'd make some good sooty bait.
I did not see that at all. I've just slipped straight in, and obviously that's way wetter than I thought it would be. Probably that 3 over there. Oh man, what a pickle. I'd come across here and there's all this logs and stuff, and I thought, all right, I'm just going to move across this side a little bit more, and then just absolutely planted it into the side here. And it doesn't even look like much. I wasn't thinking it was going to be anywhere near this soft, and yeah, just buried it. But I got to say, this is the first time that we've used our winch, and I'm very glad that it works well.
You didn't need it on the telly track, but he needs it here.
Yeah, literally. That's what I said to Soph. I was like, there's no way that we're going to get bogged and done out here and have to use the winch. And we never had to use Max Tracks or the winch when we were on the telly track up at Cape York. But how good, huh? Oh, it wouldn't be a video without a bit of fun.
It took us 40 minutes to get from right there to here.
We've just done a little circuit from Atherton Tablelands. We were at Tinaroo Lake and all of those different places, and we've just been exploring. We're at Dimbula, and we're just pulled up on the Walsh River. So I've given the Max Tracks a clean. So yeah, we've just pulled up here and going to set up camp and going to start a fire and do a bit of a cook-up. Although this creek looks amazing, they do recommend you don't swim, eat the fish, or obviously drink any of it. The tin mine, had an accident, I think it was like 17 years ago or so, at some town, I can't remember the name, that actually poisoned a lot of the waterways here, which is just crazy. So although it looks great, we can't really use or utilize any of the water here. Righto, before I go any further, none of this build would have been possible without the help of Track Oz. They've helped us out with a huge awning, rooftop tent, all of that goody stuff. So check them out at trackoz4x4.com and use the code SALTYROAM to get a little cheeky 5% off. Right, so this creek has got a nice flow here, and sooty grunter like a bit of a flow. They are like an apex sort of fish. They like to hunt other small fish, so they just wait for the little stuff to get swept down. So what I do is I usually throw my bait in there and let it flow down with the creek, and usually that works. So we'll see if there's anything in here. It's a little early. They're usually an early morning or late afternoon sort of fish, so I'll just leave it in here and come back and see what happens.
Do you reckon I should make some white chocolate cookies? I am making some camp oven cookies and going to use the rest of the white chocolate to do as a center. Don't really have a recipe, but let's send it. But it's yummy, yes. But it's yummy, yes.
These are so good. Well, lucky this isn't a fishing channel because I just can't seem to catch anything. So I've tried the lure. I'm gonna go back and change to bait and wait till the sun fully sets and it's nighttime, and then I'll have another go and see what happens. But yeah, far out. I just haven't been having good luck lately, hey? Good morning. It was freezing last night. I've cranked the fire up and about to smash a coffee, and we're gonna start the day. We're just gonna chill out, I think, but I wanna go see if I can catch one of these sooties today. And I'm gonna put on a Rogan Josh in maybe a couple of hours and hopefully let that cook all day. So stick around for that.
It's so cold.
That is beautiful. You guys need a coffee machine if you're traveling around Oz because it just changes the entire game. Alrighty, so I've got the fire going. It's nearly down to coals, and then it's coming up to about 10 o'clock in the morning now. And then I'll chuck the Rogan Josh on and let that cook right through all day until this afternoon. And then it should be good for dinner, nice and soft. But while I wait for that to get a little bit lower, I'm gonna go try and fish. Right, so I haven't had any luck fishing. It's 10:30, I need to get this Rogan Josh on so that it can cook all day and be super soft. I am using chuck, which is like pretty crap meat. The fire's burnt right down to some coals, so that should be good. This one I'm cheating a bit. I do make it from scratch sometimes, but I'm using a Rogan Josh paste. But we're just gonna use up the last of our veggies as well. We've got a couple carrots, some potatoes, onion and tomato. Usually I'll use 2 tomatoes, but we've only got 1. So I'm just gonna get into it and start chopping up and putting it together. Right, so I just rough chop the tomatoes, and the onion I'll do half pretty fine and then the other half pretty rough. Usually when you slow cook stuff like this, it all breaks down to nothing anyway if you do it too fine. Normally I wouldn't peel these little carrots, but they've got a bit of mold on the joys of travels, huh? I don't put potatoes in a Rogan Josh. These need using, so I will. Massaman, different story. Other thing with potatoes in curry, I find that they absorb a fair bit of the flavor. It is great if you make something too spicy, then just add potatoes. It can help level it out. But I'm probably gonna try and increase some of the flavor and spices so that this guy doesn't absorb it all. You got some fairly hot coals. I've just made like a bit of a rock base because I hate sand, like doing it on sand. I've got PTSD from getting some sand in our food, which wasn't great. So a little bit of an oil up. I'm gonna let that get nice and hot, and then I'm gonna cook off the onions until they're about golden brown. Add the garlic. That's the last of what we've got. And then the onion, and I've got to cook them off till golden brown. We got heaps of beef here, so we should have enough for leftovers tomorrow. But I reckon this is gonna be so good. All right, so the garlic and onion is searing off, so I'm just gonna chuck in the rest of our veg and cook that off, and then throw in the meat and seal it before adding any of the sauce. Right, so I've cooked off the veg for a few minutes. It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna add in my beef. Normally you do this with lamb, but this is all we've got. I'm gonna add a few more coals to increase the heat to seal it off before adding our simmer sauce. Righto, so that's simmered off a little bit. I've sealed the meat. I'm gonna pour in just all of this paste that I've got. It's a bit of a cheat, but well, anything tastes good on this camp oven. She's pretty runny, but I'll let that cook off for a few hours, and then I might let it cook off without the lid to reduce if need be. Now we wait. Yeah, what do we got?
We have got some coconut rice to go with Tyler's lovely curry. It turned out so nice and fluffy. I'm excited.
Righto, so the curry is done, and I've got to say, this has turned out so well. The meat just falls apart. It's all just so soft. So I reckon this is going to be an absolute treat. It looks good.
Good?
Yeah, 100%. Not a traditional Rogan Josh. It's like a campfire spin-off, but I tell you what, it's come out a treat. So look at that.
It smells amazing.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you want to see more of our adventures and our travels, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.